Today we're going to talk about the 7 expectations you can have from your appointment setter. So if you have an appointment setter on your team, if you have a bunch of appointment setters, these are the 7 things you can expect from them to create great results. My name is Michael Barayev. I was able to build a team of 150 plus sales guys in less than 2.5 years. We did it with zero money invested, and now we have a solar company that's growing. We have a real estate investment company that's growing. We have our coaching and consulting company that's growing. We have a lot of things cooking and growing for us, right? But when I used to hire my appointment setters, right? You want to call them SDRs, this star, all kinds of names out there, right? I had to call them appointment setters because they just set appointments, right? They're just literally qualifying people and setting appointments. I used to teach them these 7 things because it was extremely important for us, especially for our closers, to have really good quality appointments, right? Because a lot of times we hire these appointment setters and the appointments are shit. Customers don't show up, or the customer doesn't know what the fuck you're gonna sell them. They're all confused. So it kind of kills the dynamic of closing that customer on that spot, right? So we used to teach our appointment setters these 7 things. Number 1, you have to filter and qualify the customer, right? The prospect, right? So filter and qualify them. Don't just like, you wanna get an appointment? And push that appointment. So we did not pay per an appointment. I hated that because I didn't want the appointment setter to be so focused on just appointment setting. I wanted them to filter and qualify the customer to make sure they were a good fit for what we were selling them, right? Number 2, we taught them how to gather specific data. Intelligence is everything. Right? Intelligence is everything. And if you look at any military, anything like that, intelligence is vital. And when a closer is sitting down with a customer, it's so vital for them to have information and data that was gathered from another conversation so they know what the hell to say or ask during the presentation to close the customer better, right? So for example, let's say you're knocking on doors for solar, right? And the appointment setter finds out that the person is going to be selling their house in 7 years. That's a very vital piece of information. So instead of the closer figuring this out during the qualifying time of asking questions, the sales rep already knows, based on the appointment setter's conversation in the notes, that the sales guy, that the customer is going to be selling their house in 7 years. That data is vital. So we used to teach our appointment setters to dig deep and figure out important information that can be very helpful to the closer. Number 3, we taught them how to build trust and company in the company and also in the product. Remember, I don't want them to start building trust when a sales guy shows up. I want them to start building trust when an appointment setter shows up. How fast they communicate with them and send them that email for the appointment. How fast, the whatever that text message confirmation may be, the office calling and confirming that appointment. Like, all these things have to be in congruency so the customer feels trust with that company. And eventually, when they sit down with the sales rep, they feel congruency and everything is kind of smooth and transitioned properly, right? It's kind of like an alley-oop, so to say, right? Number 4. The purpose of the appointment setter to be there is not to give them all the information. The purpose of the appointment setter is to create curiosity so that they're excited to sit down with the sales rep, right? So curiosity was very, very, very vital when we were building our teams. Number 5, increase the impulse and the urgency for the customer to create action, right? To say, yes, I want to book an appointment. So we also created a lot of urgency and high impulse, saying that this program or this product or this service will not be available forever. And there were specific things that we did and said that made them realize that, okay, you're sitting down with the sales rep, there's not a lot of quantity of this product available, you got to get this appointment done as soon as possible, not book it for 6 weeks out, right? So we used to do that very strategically, depending on the product, depending on the service we were selling, and we taught the sales guy, the appointment setter, how to create impulse and urgency. Number 6, you want to make sure your appointment setter, right, this is what we did, sell the shit and edify, right? What does edification mean? To build up the sales rep that's coming up. So we used to say, hey, talk good about this person. Say, oh my God, Michael, let's say I was an appointment setter, I'll talk, and let's say Joey was my sales guy. I'm like, yo, this customer, Joey's gonna be sitting down with you. You have no idea, he's actually X, Y, and Z. He's an amazing person. He's actually helped a lot of customers in this area. You'll love his personality. He's very funny, just building him up and making him feel good. Right? So when a Joey shows up, they're like, wow, this is Joey, the best guy I've ever had in my entire life. You edify them. And then what Joey does at the time of the sit down of the customer, right? He's edifying the crap out of who? Out of me, saying, wow, that appointment setter is so amazing. He's been with us for so long. He's amazing, he's amazing, he's amazing. And now what happens is the guy that's sitting there, the customer's like, holy shit, this company is so positive. He's talking good about him. He's talking about good about him. Everyone's on the same page. It's a team, it's a unit, and I feel comfortable and I trust these people, right? It's very important. Number 7, solidify the appointment where the customer understands the priority of the meeting. A lot of times appointment setters, they set appointments and people don't show up. The reason why is because they did not correctly, properly set the priority for the customer. The customer, I'll give you guys an example. There's a lot of times where you have an appointment in your calendar like, I don't want to show up. But if it's a priority, you'll show up. right? So like dentist appointments, perfect example. I don't know why dentists have a bad reputation these days, right? Because nobody wants to go to the dentist. I love going to the dentist, but a lot of people, they hate going to the dentist. So they call you like 15 times to remind you about the appointment. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna show up. It's in my calendar, I'm showing up. But 90% of people, they don't give a shit about that. So the office has to triple book, double book. Why? Because most people, like, they look at an appointment like, I don't wanna show up. Because if there's another appointment, like to go freaking hang out with their friends, they'd rather go do that than go see the dentist. And that's what happens all the time. So you need to get really good at making sure the customer understands the priority of that appointment. And there's a strategic way to do that, and you gotta teach and train your appointment setters to not just book shit and throw money against the wall, but actually create prioritization for that customer to say, wow, I really need this, I need to sit down with someone ASAP, right? So anyway, if you love this kind of content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and listen, if you have not shared this video with someone, do me a favor, share it with someone, and we'll see you guys in the next video.